Good Wednesday morning, everybody, and welcome to TRS Live. I am your host, Matt Trotz. Man, I hope you are having a phenomenal start to your hump day here. It's Wednesday, and I'm going to say right now we're kind of kicking this one off as a Whitetail Wednesday. So let's do let's do some housekeeping stuff here. So again, all the products that we talk about here on TRS Live are only available at therealshot.com, especially the sales, I should say, are only available at therealshot.com. The products, well, luckily for you, they are available in-store and online, but the deals that we talk about here on TRS Live are only available at The Real Shot, and it's REELSHOT.com. And then while you're over there too, let's just summarize and help you shop a lot easier. So my goal here at TRS Live is to highlight some of the great products that we carry, but also save you some awesome money at the same time. So while you're on therealshot.com, here's the easy way to find all the TRS Live products, right? Scroll over to the category side of it. You're going to scroll down. There's TRS Live Shopping. Click that. Bring you to the landing page for our show. Then you're going to see a calendar of events. Now, that calendar of events talks about past shows. It also talks about upcoming shows and what the products are going to be. Then as you scroll down or up, whatever way you want to look at it, the products that we've talked about on past shows are still there. Now, here's the deal with that. Some of the products still may be on sale. Some of the products may not be on sale. Some of the inventories may be available. Some of the inventories may not be available. So what I want to encourage you to do is on our social media pages where you can watch TRS Live on The Real Shot Facebook page, The Real Shot YouTube channel. We also have an Instagram page. Then there's also TRS Live Facebook and Instagram. Follow along on those accounts. If you already haven't yet, go ahead, like, follow, subscribe, all the things, all those criteria that you need to do. Increase your notifications, right? Set some of the follow settings to more advanced settings. That's going to let you know when we go live here. It's also going to notify you on some of the upcoming deals and things like that too. So really check that out when you're on our social media page. But so the big thing too is you want to pay attention to the shows as they go out. We do shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we're 3 times a week right now, and it usually starts around 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, set your calendar, set your alarm, set a bunch of timers, let yourself know, hey man, TRS Live is about ready to roll. And Trotz is on there. He's going to talk about some great products that The Real Shot carries, and he's also going to save me a bunch of money. Now, the other thing too is, speaking of saving you money, right? Fix TV is the company that brings you TRS Live. It brings you my other, 2 shows that I've also hosted, The Guided Life and also Head to Head Fishing. The Jake Jacobs show is over there. So now do me a favor. Help support the shows that I host. Help support Jake Jacobs. Please subscribe to Fix TV. Now, what you're going to do is $5.99 a month, right? But then you're automatically going to get a $5 credit to use here on TRS Live. Now, the other thing, too, is if you refer a friend and they subscribe to Fix TV, then you earn yourself some free viewing. So it's basically 99 cents a month is what your subscription is going to cost you after you have your credit. Now, that credit is only good as long as you stay a Fix TV subscriber. So if you join for a month and then you cancel your subscription, you have that month to use that $5 credit. Otherwise, it does not renew every month. But it's an awesome deal. It helps support a lot of great shows out there. Plus, it saves you some money in the interim as well. So, with all that being said, again, I kind of want to talk about Whitetail Wednesday here because a lot of the products on today's show are going to help you, whether it's bow hunting, whitetail hunting in the early season. Some of these products are going to cross over kind of into some other seasons. But let's get started with the first product. So, as Andy slid in that graphic, there's all your order information. That's the product information you see on this side of the screen. This way, whoop, there it is. And then, so all that's there. HMRRG is the code that you can put right into the search tab on therealshot.com to take you to the Hunt Monkey Ridge Runner glove. Now you see that glove on your screen right now. This is a fantastic glove for early season, fantastic glove for upland bird hunting as well as turkey hunting. You see the price on your screen right now. Normally it retails in at $35.99. You're going to take advantage of the $25.99 on therealshot.com right now. So the color in particular that you see on the screen right now is marsh and hardwood. So there's 2 different flavors of it, depending on which one you want to go with. I have them in front of me here. Let's kind of talk about the sizes first and foremost. Those are available from a medium to a 2XL. So the bigger the hand, obviously the bigger the glove you're going to need. And then the other thing too is this is a 4-way stretch material. So for me personally, I like a glove that is a little tighter to get started with. I am not a big component of gloves. I like to be able to use my fingers, but what Hunt Monkey did, and actually if you pay attention to some of the other gloves that the Real Shot carries, Hunt Monkey is still the same brand that Fish Monkey is. This is just their hunt side of the world. So again, it's a really nice 4-way stretch glove, right? The cool thing here is I tighten it on my hand, and I think this is an XL, and this one actually fits me perfectly. I got some great dexterity there. I can get all the way to the fingers. There's no space in the fingers, so the XL for me is probably a good size to roll with. Now, the other thing too here is it's got non-slip grips on it, and it's got a leather palm there too. So that leather palm is going to be, increased longevity of this glove. It's going to help with grip. There's a lot of awesome benefits to that leather palm, but the big thing too is if, I could show Scotty here. Scotty, you want me to high five that camera? Can you zoom in? There you see that leather palm, and as I wiggle my fingers, you can also see that non-slip grip that's on there. Now the other thing too is I go like this. I'm going to give Scott the number 1. See that? That's touchscreen compatible, so if you are out in the woods and you need to use your smartphone to make a call or to surf therealshot.com, this little guy right here is going to allow you to do that. So again, we kind of talked about it's ideal for turkey hunting, bow hunting too, and that's the nice thing too, because if again, Scott, I'll show you here, notice how high, and I love the logo that's on here. It's like a grippy logo. What that grippy logo is going to do too is going to help keep your sleeve down. See that? Keep ticks, keep mosquitoes out. But it goes up higher on your wrist, almost touches your forearm. And I like that too, because if you shoot a wrist sling or a wrist release, you have plenty of room in there to have that wrist or that release buckle around and to have good dexterity, and it's not so far, like the glove doesn't end so far down here. Now you have like a weird pinch point. So it goes up high, and like I said, this Hunt Monkey portion of it right here, if I don't move around too much for Scott here, that's got some good grip to it as well. So that's going to hold your sleeve down, which is also going to allow bugs and mosquitoes to hopefully stay out. But again, the camouflage is pretty cool. The 4-way stretch material, as I have it on my hand here, it's like molding to my hand. It feels really nice. But on the flip side of it, like this glove is going to be breathable, and it's not going to get too warm for those early season hunts, right? Anytime you perspire in the early season, that's just scent that you don't want to have to worry about. So this glove has some good breathability to it, and it's still lightweight enough for an early October morning. Your hand's going to be warm enough, but then as the day gets hotter, it's still going to breathe a lot more, and you're not going to get as much sweat across the palm area. The other thing too is, as that leather padding there, it's going to help keep that sweat down. If you do have a little bit of sweat there, it's that synthetic leather palm hand protection, and it's also going to allow that you have better grip throughout the course of the day. The other nice thing, like we said, I don't know, man, I'm just not a big fan of gloves for hunting purposes. I like to have the feel, especially if I'm shooting a bow. When I hit my anchor point here, I want to be able to feel everything. So if I do wear a glove, this is the style of glove I wear, something lightweight, something that's got good dexterity to it, that's also thin enough to allow me to feel on an anchor point, to allow me to grab stuff, whether it's a grunt tube or a rattling horns or my slate call or whatever I may need, bring that shotgun up. The nice thing, like we talked about with the anchor point for a bow, but a shotgun is the same thing. I don't want a big old bulky glove right here that's going to affect where I shoulder my gun. Right here, if I have everything here, it's nice, lightweight, it's compact, and it does a nice job. The other thing, as we continue to talk more about this glove, man, it's fitting really nice. I like that. It's got a brushed interior finish. It kind of helps with the warmth, and also because that weight, it helps with a good weight ratio. So this glove is not overly too. Oh no, I see the comments are coming in. Perfect, I love it. So it's good weight ratio too. So it's not over. I love the comment. So I got to get to those right away. So it's Does it pick up bananas? Yes, you can definitely pick up. You can even peel a banana with this thing, iHunter. The snot rig for squeegee. I don't believe it has a snot rig for the squeegee, but for me, I'll show you where that is. If it were to have one, it's usually in this portion. If it has a snot rig portion, for me, it's like this. You know, I don't think I want it down here because I don't want to get my fancy gear all dirty. For me, the snot rig portion is right up there. So thanks for the questions, everybody. But again, you kind of see the pricing. $35.99 normal retail price. $25.99 is the sale price that you're only going to get on therealshot.com. It's just a really nice glove, right? It has windproof capability. It's warm. We talked about the touchscreen compatible. So if you're out in your stand or you're out in the woods or whatever it is and you want to watch TRS Live and do a little shopping at the same time, or if you're on fixed TV and you want to watch, because the app's coming soon. Just so you know, the app for fixed TV is coming soon. That little touchscreen button right there is going to help out with you. But I mean, everybody, for $10 off, and as hunting season's closing in on us, this is a really awesome glove, and it's simple. It's a simple design, it's a simple idea, and it's going to do a great job. So if you're one of the standards that I like, that KISS, keep it simple, Sam, that's kind of the logo I go through, a mentality that I like too, but I like it. And like the idea behind it, I mean, as much as I play with this, I'm like, man, even the monkey down here, that monkey logo is still, you know, a tacky material, so that's going to help keep the sleeves down. Also help keep that glove up high on that wrist, which is also really nice. So, Hunt Monkey Ridge Runner glove, available in colors of marsh and hardwoods. Sizes, again, medium to 2XL, 4-way stretch comfort, non-slip grip. The synthetic leather pad, this is a perfect glove for you. Take advantage of it. You see all the order information on the screen right there. Size, I just covered the sizes. Again, it's medium to 2XL. So if you're looking for a great glove to get started in the early season, goose season, pheasant hunting, all that kind of great stuff, the Hunt Monkey Ridge Runner glove is for you. But if you are adding one of those to the cart now on the Real Shot, don't check out yet, because I got a bunch more products to go. So the next product that we're going to be talking about here on TRS Live for our Whitetail Wednesday is Scorpion Venom Bowstring Fluid. And this is one of those maintenance things. A lot of times for fishing, we talk about this should be in your tackle box. If you are an archer, crossbow shooter, the Scorpion Venom Bowstring Fluid is something that you should have with you too. So we're going to go to a brief commercial break, and when we come back, that's the product we're going to be talking about.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Real Shot. Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are going to join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Welcome back, everybody, to TRS Live. I am your host, Matt Trotz. I love all the camera angles that are on right now. It reminds me of those MTV shows where it was the radical camera angles, and it's like, hey, welcome back. Next up, Britney Spears, something like that. Dude, we're just advancing this show day after day, so it's awesome. Again, thanks, everybody, for your support here for TRS Live. But let's continue to save you a bunch of money on some upcoming products. Now, again, we talk a lot about efficiency and maintenance and just standards that you should have if you're a fisher or an archer or a firearms user, whatever it may be. In the Scorpion Venom bowstring fluid, which all the information is on your screen right now, is just one of those products that you should definitely have available if you are a archer or a crossbow shooter. So what this really is here is it's a odor-free waterproofing material, or I'm going to say it's cutting-edge technology, is composed of a polymeric liquid which leaves your bowstrings flexible. It leaves a flexible coating on your bowstrings and penetrates to the bundle core with friction. So right here I went down and I have a Bowtech SR350, brand new on the rack right here. So if you're in the market for a sweet, fast, quiet, forgiving brand new bow, the Bowtech is maybe one for you. But as we talk about the bowstring fluid, where it's going to be applied, this is awesome. We do a lot of these videos for the Real Shot. Bowstring wax, bowstring fluid is just something that's really, really needed. And what it does is it also is a cleaning agent, but it also conditions the strings. So after a while, strings start to dry out. Even though the material that they're making these bowstrings out of is now some of the best material out there, the advancements in bowstrings have come a long ways here at the Real Shot. We love the gas line of bowstrings and crossbow strings, but you still have to maintain that stuff in between use. And if you shoot a lot, a bowstring fluid or a bowstring wax from Scorpion, both available at the Real Shot, are going to be a product that you need. Now, here's a little tip for those who like the Scorpion wax, which I personally use that. I do love that stuff a lot, and I have some tips about that too. If you're using the wax and the fluid, use the fluid first. That's kind of the tip there on their website. But the nice thing too is if you're concerned, if you're putting on this hunting bow or your hunting crossbow, right, this stuff is odor free, so it's not going to put any foreign smells out there that's going to alert the deer that you're hunting. So what you're going to do here, and again, Scott, if you can kind of zoom in on me here. So there's a served area of your bowstring. So right here where the loop is, this is what they call serving material. Now this area here typically will not get this type of material here. Now Scorpion does make a product that they call a serving fluid that can go up around the cams. It can go anywhere where it's served through your rotor guard, things like that. But this fluid here, you're going to want to apply directly to the material right here. So as you see, as Scott's got me zoomed in and my fingers going back and forth, the black, the gray twist right here, this is the exact bowstring that we're talking about. So all you do is it's an easy applicator. Again, it kind of looks like a chapstick, has a kind of a sponge style tip to it. So as you get it wet, that sponge is going to do a nice job of putting the right amount of material on. But all you're going to do is just press this applicator in, and you're just going to rub it into that area. And again, what that's doing is that's conditioning the bowstrings to not only withstand the weather, it's also getting all the way into the core of the bowstring, so it's going to work its way in, adds to that waterproofing agent. So you run, like I just showed you there, so you run that product back and forth, and now you're going to have to let it dry for a few moments for it to really kind of set in. But that's going to add a protectant level to your bowstrings and condition those strings and get you a lot longer use out of your crossbow and bowstring. So this is just a really awesome maintenance product that you should have. Put it in your bow case. Kind of have a couple of them, especially because $10.99 is what they would normally charge for this bottle right here, but $8.79 is the price you're going to save right now at therealshot.com. But when you're looking for a maintenance product, when you're looking to keep those strings in a great shape, the Scorpion plyometric bowstring fluid is going to help you with that. Now, how do you know? That's one of the questions we get. Well, you can base it off the number of shots. So the more you shoot it, the more it's going to need to be waxed, or the more it's going to need to be conditioned. For me, I like to simplify things. I just talked about that in the last product. So for me, I know that my string needs to be conditioned when it appears to look dry. So you'll start twisting it and you'll start noticing some areas that appear to look dry. Now it's time to apply. And you can over apply, but it's better to obviously use it than to not use it. The other thing too, as bowstrings get shot a bunch, I always refer to them as like little cat whiskers. So what that means is some of the string material will kind of have like little, I don't know, like I said, it's a cat whisker. It's like a little portion of the string that kind of sticks up. This one is so brand new that I can't even really get any to come up. But what you're going to do then is you're just going to apply this with that applicator, and you're just going to rub it in and out. And the nice thing about this material here, and even if we kind of show a comparison, is like, if again, Scott here, so I'll show you. This area here we did not treat. And even though this is a brand new bowstring here, you can kind of look at it, right? You know, it looks kind of dull. It looks like it could use a little wax, even though it's brand new and it really doesn't. Now, if we go to this area right here, can you see the shine? Can you see the sheen to it? Now, obviously it's wet, I understand that, but as this material would dry right here, that's going to help keep that condition a lot nicer. The other thing too about the bowstring wax here, this bowstring fluid I should say from Scorpion, is if you are one of those people like I am, like I like to customize my bow as much as I can, you know, fancy colors to your strings, you know, matching accessories, so on and so forth. That material here, this polymetric bow wax, or polymeric I should say, is actually going to bring those string colors back to life. So you spend some money on those bowstrings, why not condition them, keep them lasting longer, and also keep those vibrant colors. You know, one of my all-time favorite go-to bowstring colors is bright orange. That fluorescent orange, I like it with black servings. It looks really, really sweet. It sounds silly to say, but like there's no sweeter color than when a flow orange bowstring is coming through the cams. I think that looks so awesome. But I want to keep that color. I want to keep that color as vibrant and as flashy as I possibly can. So this product here, the Scorpion bowstring fluid, is going to definitely help do that. So again, it's a really simple maintenance product. It's one that is, I'm here to save you money on it, and I'm wanting to make sure that you know how to use it really well. But this is a great material. Scorpion makes some of the best bowstring material on the market right now. Kind of one of the first companies to bring something like this to the market. So Scorpion is a phenomenal company. It is available at therealshot.com. So again, the pricing, $10.99 is normal retail price for this bottle. $8.79 is the sales price on therealshot.com. It reduces string friction, it waterproofs it, it's odor free, it helps really get down to the core of the strings, to those bundles, penetrates all the way through, and it does a phenomenal job. And it's an easy applicator. It's kind of a no fuss, no muss type of situation there. So if you are an archer and you need a little conditioning there, this is the product for you. So add it to your cart. But let's get ready here. We're not ready to check out yet. We're getting into some of those archery products that are going to help you out. So next on the docket is a B3 Archery Release. This is one of my favorite releases that you can absolutely get to. This is a claw hook jaw. It's got a swivel stem to it. So when we come back from commercial breaks, we're talking about the B3. It's a claw hook style release, and I'm going to tell you why I personally love the claw hook style releases, and it's a phenomenal release. So don't go anywhere. Come right back.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. I've been fishing professionally for 4 years. I spent 3 years as a pro in the Northern Opens, and now I've been fishing 1 year in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Reel Shot.
There's the boom right there, Gary Atkins, your smallmouth specialist.
Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these 2 guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. What's up? Welcome back, everybody. TRS Live. Next up, Creed. Woo! No, I'm just kidding. We're really having a lot of fun here. Whitetail Wednesday, TRS Live, here to educate you and to save you a bunch of money. Now, the way I'm dressed now, man, I am totally ready to hit the deer woods. Deer season in Wisconsin's not too far away. And as I get into this, we kind of alluded to this just before break, that we have the B3 Archery Release. This is a claw hook style release. It's got a lot of benefits to it. You see it on the screen right now. I'm going to get into it and tell you why. Personally, as a archer, I will never shoot another release if it's a wrist release than the hook style releases. So let's get into it. Right now, $74.99 is the normal retail price on this release. $62.99 is a phenomenal deal for the B3 hook style release. So first and foremost, you kind of see it there, and I'm going to do my best to show Scott. I put it on just because this thing's so comfortable. This is what it means for a hook style release. It has a D-loop only hook right there. And it's got a nice a trigger there. It's a peg style trigger, which I like. When I shoot my release, I bury that index finger as deep as I can. Good sensitivity to it, good adjustments. Then as we work through, this is where we were talking to with that swivel stem that's on there. And it also has Allen key adjustments. Can you see that right there, Scotty? Boom, so that's nice. It also, too, you can swivel it back so it's in and out of the way if you're climbing, if you're rattling, if you're about to grunt tube like you have here. So this is a really nice release. But what I really want to do is get into it. So it's all black. Oh, the other thing too, before Scott pulls off me here, is it's a buckle. A buckle is just like a belt. Why I like the buckle too is because it's repeatable. Once you have this on, and whether you're shooting it with a Hunt Monkey glove or you're shooting it bare like I have it here, you're going to have the same repeatable hole every time, which means that release is sitting on your wrist in the same spot every single time. That all leads to consistency. So the biggest thing about being a good archery shooter is consistency, right? And this release is going to help you do that. So it swivels out of the way. So if you're a right-handed shooter, it'll work. If you're a left-handed shooter, it'll work as well. Just kind of swivel it that way so it fits a lefty and righty shooters. Adjustable. Now here's a little tip for me. When I set my release, I like my release short. Again, so I can really, and a lot of people are like, well, it's too short, it's hard to grab. But you got to remember, once you get the bowstring on there, that bowstring is going to put tension. I like to curl my finger around. Which way I got to go here so Scott can see that? I like to curl my finger around. Why don't I just show you on a bow? That would make more sense. So when I'm anchored in and I'm pulling, I like to curl my finger around and just let my second knuckle do the work. So I'm push-pull, I'm push-pull. Well, this nice thing, too, with this release is it kind of automatically sets itself. But let's get into, there's a lot of benefits to it. We talked about the adjustability to it, the smooth trigger pull, the compact styling here, the repeatable buckle, the hook, let's get into why as an archer, because it's weird to me that I have to convince people that a hook is a good way until I start showing them. So let's go back, Andy. Let's go back main screen if you can. All right, and then maybe we can get some do-you-loop shots here in the process. So this is absolutely why I love the hook, because I personally, without looking down, can hook this release on. Now I'm gonna tell you, it takes a little bit of practice. You gotta get good at it. But what I mean is if all of a sudden I'm out hunting, right? And I have a deer approaching, all I have to reach down for my Illusions grunt call. And I hit it with a couple of grunts, with a bleat, whatever it is, or maybe I'm rattling, or I gotta hit out my rangefinder. With a little bit of practice, you can hook up to this thing and not even look at it. But a lot of people are like, whoa, it'll come off, it'll come off. No, it doesn't. Once you get tension on this thing, and I'm actually putting a very little tension on this, and that release is staying put. So for me, that is the biggest factor of why I will shoot a hook style release only if I'm shooting a wrist style release. Again, I'm kind of moving my hand all around, and that hook's going nowhere. So for all those who like, oh man, it's gonna fall off. No, man, like I'm very little pressuring it right now. Like I'm actually letting it start to slack. And it's going on and off, but it's not moving off that loop. So it's there. The other thing too is why I like the loop, or I'm sorry, the hook style, and I'm gonna turn this way, is because that hook is the only thing that I have to get to move. And what I mean by that is just like this. That hook is the only thing that's gotta move. Some of the double jaw, the single caliper releases, you have to get one jaw to open or both jaws to open, or if there's a slight lag in one of the jaws, that can make inconsistent shooting. It's the hook. That's all I have to do. I have to hook it up, and then I just squeeze, and she is ready to go. And it's set pretty hot right now, but you can go through and you can make manual adjustments to get this release to fire at the correct time. Really, you want it almost to the point where it's like too hot. What I mean by too hot is too hot a trigger pull. Or, you want to be able to put a little pressure on it before it goes off, but you want to be able to get yourself to your anchor point and then start squeezing and pulling those back muscles and get the bow to fire on its own. But this release is super nice. And to me, the one thing too is I absolutely love is how compact it is. So $74.99 is the normal retail price of this. $62.99 for this release is an absolutely amazing deal. And I'm hoping the simplicity of the hook is what you need to understand and what is going to maybe change you as an archer. That simplicity of that hook too is going to make you more accurate. It may sound silly to some people out there, but that is all I have to get to move. And the nice thing too is typically between more shots, it'll reset itself. So you don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, it's just boom. I just hit it with my forefinger or my index finger or my thumb, and it resets itself. But this is a fantastic release. Can you keep up with me if I do this? Is that allowed? Can you keep up with me? But yeah, this is, it's awesome. B3, it's a claw hook style release. It's simplistic. Again, with a little bit of practice, I can look down, I can look away, I can be watching a deer on my left, find that loop with my thumb, and I kind of pinch it. Find that loop with my thumb, and I'm automatically hooked up. And all I have to do is just, I'm barely holding it. I could even reach down right now, in a way, if I had it set just perfectly, grab my grunt tube, and then I'm still hooked up, and I'm ready to roll. It's so nice, man. I totally recommend it. And the other thing, too, is, okay, Matt, you've told me how much how easy it is, but it's easy off, too, in that way, too. So, like, all of a sudden in a pinch, that deer is moving fast, and I can't get it to voice stop. What I mean is the old typical Matt. I can bring up the grunt tube, I can hit this, and then right away I'm hooked up and I'm ready to roll. So that's how nice it is, and it's so super nice. This is a release that everybody should get. This is a release that if you have the standard, other brands with the pinchers on it, give it to your kid. Actually, don't give it to your kid. At the sales price we got this one at, buy your kid one of these, buy your wife one of these. They'll be surprised with a little bit of practice, once you build that confidence in this product, that this is one for everybody, and it's going to make them a more efficient hunter, and it's going to make them more accurate of a hunter too. So it's the B3 Archery Release. It's a claw hook style release. We talked about how it swivels on the head, has a lot of adjustment to it. If you have a little bit bigger hand than I do, you can kind of set it. It's got that awesome sensitivity to it. The hook is by far the biggest thing. The repeatable buckle there too is really, really nice. This is a product I think a lot of people should take advantage of. And the other thing too is, like, we're kind of crazy. Archery season's approaching up. Why the heck would we discount something? Because we want to allow you to have the best products you absolutely can at a fair price. So the B3 claw hook style release, it's one I recommend. It's got my stamp of approval. I would take advantage of that sale price. $74.99 is normal retail price. $62.99 is the sales price. B3 ARE is the product code that you can purchase it on the Real Shot website. Again, I'll say that again. B3 ARE is the product code. So go ahead and enter that in. That's going to take you right to this release. But we are not done yet here for a Whitetail Wednesday. We have one more product, and again, this product is going to get my stamp of approval. This is the Illusion Extinguisher Game Call. This call does it all. It makes a bunch of different sounds. It has the freeze-proof capabilities to it. It is, the biggest thing too is this one is very well marketed. The deals that you're going to get here on TRS Live are only available at therealshot.com. They are not available on Walmart or Amazon. So come right back and let's talk about the Illusion Extinguisher Deer Call.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Real Shot. Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are going to join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. What's up, everybody? TRS Live. I am your host, Matt Trotz, and just like iHunter says in the chat, I'm about to blow an awesome grunt tube at you, so get ready. The deer are going to start running. So again, welcome everybody to what I'm coining as a Whitetail Wednesday here. They didn't know it, but I'm going to do it anyways. It's my show. I can do what I want. But what I want to do is I want to discount this product right now, way before the rut even gets here. So we sell out right now, because this is one of our #1 selling deer calls. It is our #1 selling deer call, and it is the best call on the market right now. My opinion, like it, love it, it's up to you. But I think it's one of the best deer calls. If you've watched any of my live stream guided hunts from the whitetail stand during the rut, it's available on Fixed TV. I use the Extinguisher grunt tube in those videos, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And let's get into why. So this is probably the most marketed deer call out there. And there's other areas where you can find it, but you're not going to get the sales price like we have right now. Now, normally this black grunt tube right here retails in at $24.99. We're crazy. We're insane here at $17.99 is the savings you're going to get. That's an awesome grunt tube for $18. It is to be the last grunt tube you buy at $18. way ahead of the rut. This is insanity that we're even discounting it. So why, Matt, is it so good? Well, first and foremost, the big thing for me is it's the ability to be freeze proof. So like me, I'm sure some of you are full of hot air at times. When you're out there and the rut is going on and it is a cold November morning and you blow into this bad boy, you got a lot of saliva rolling. You get that on the reed might start sticking. But the ease of adjustment, the ease to break that reed free is just right here by this slider. This slider right here is going to, you do this once or twice, it'll break that O-ring free, it'll loosen up that reed, and then you are back to calling. Because the last thing you want to worry about is a frozen reed and start to sound like a duck instead of a deer and spook that monster buck that you may be hunting. So that to me, first and foremost, is worth $24.99. It's even better if it's $18. That's a great deal. Directional calling by this flexible tube here. You know, there's some great product videos out there. So go watch the product videos on this Grunt tube, but buy it right here on therealshot.com. That's all I can tell you. And it allows you to do a buck, a doe, a fawn, and you can get crazy with your calls, but it sounds really good too. So like, you know, here's again, let's get into some tips. I like to kind of muffle the end at times, or just like, what is the tuba or the trombone, you know, open the hand, do a little bit of this kind of stuff. So I'll just start with this is the most mature buck sound they can make, but it's not like too deep where it's going to intimidate maybe, because let's face it, even some of your more mature deer are somewhat timid, right? Their whole entire life, if they've lived to 3, 4, 5, 6 years old and beyond, you know, they've probably been through a couple of butt whoopings. So I like the fact that this Grunt tube is deep, but it's not super, super deep. Where it may be intimidating to some of those 5-year-old deer that there is if you have a bully buck on your property that might be beating it up. So here's what the deep grunt sounds like. And again, that's taking very little air to make that call do its job. But you can get really loud with it too. So there's been times where it's a November morning, November afternoon, your deer or a deer is at 100, 150 yards. You have the leaves rustling if there's still leaves up. You know, you have maybe a flock of turkeys around you, and you got to hit that deer hard. Hit them, get them to stop, and then you can tone it down. And then the other thing too, like we hit on with this directional tube, is a lot of times you don't want to point the Grunt tube directly to where the deer is at. You want to kind of add it, turn it, put it behind you. So you want that deer to look through you, not look at you. So it's really easy. Just kind of hit it here. And just turn that tube behind you. I like to shoot it, you know, behind through my armpit, whatever it may be, or turn. And I can directionalize that grunt sound and get that deer to look through me, look behind me, and hopefully come on in. But then again, so we started, that's a mature buck. You can do roars with this call. You can do ticks and pops. I mean, this is one thing, I've heard it. When a buck's super excited, especially those younger ones, they get crazy. It's a thing, trust me. And then you can adjust it up a little bit higher, get them a little more immature buck. So if you want to just make a vocalization that's like, hey, I'm a buck, I'm out here, but I don't want to be super intimidating at you. You just adjust this up here on the slider, and it's labeled fawn, doe, buck, and your buck has a pretty big range of adjustment. You just work that reed up a little bit higher, and it's going to get a little bit lighter. Okay? Yeah, not even, that's really easy. Andy just said it's not very difficult to use. Yeah, if Matt can do it, anybody can do it. Now, that more there is like, hey, I'm a buck, I'm out here, come check me out, right? But I'm not ready to fight with you, so you can work that up. Now you can get into your does. That's one thing that I like to do is when I have a group of does around me, sometimes vocalizing with them, especially if you get that lead doe, that matriarch doe, that the doe's head is this long because she is 14 plus years old, and you just hit her with a soft grunt, especially if you throw it behind you, that'll hopefully calm her down enough where she doesn't want to be on alert. So, you know, again, this is the way doe sounds. And you have some range of adjustment. So if you want to go a little younger, yes, doe grunt. I've heard it a lot. I've heard fawns do it a lot too. Then you get into your fawn. And I like the blend. I like the combo between and it's fast and easy. So once in a while, I'll hit it with like a tending grunt. And then I'll adjust quickly to a fawn. So what I'm trying to tell the deer right now is I am a buck and I am chasing a doe. And that's what it is. I mean, it's as simple as that. Especially late in the year when those fawns start coming into estrus, like later on in the year, you get select fawns that are ready to roll. If you start hitting some of that during that second run, like a buck chasing a fawn, that's even awesome. But here's another tip, and I have done this too. Maybe eye hunters just cracking me up in the chat. But early season, I haven't done it a lot, but I have tried this. It is a fawn ball. It is a thing. It is a fawn in distress style call. It also works for calling in predators, you know, coyotes, bear, if you can hunt them with calls, you know, and so on and so forth. But early on in the season, and I'm talking like that first 2 to 3 weeks, probably more or less that 2 weeks, you can go out there and you can raise that pitch of this fawn call and you can call does in. I have done it and it works. And if you are looking to fill some early season doe tags, those does are there still might be some young fawns yet that are along with mom. If you start balling out there like you are a fawn lost or you are a fawn in distress, does can come in running and they are looking to protect. And it's not just the mom. You will call in other does. And you got to get aggressive with it though. You want to put a little bit of wah behind it, so those does absolutely think something's going on with the fawn or their fawn. They come in and they are on the search, but because they are like that. Once you make that call, that's where that B3 release comes into play. You better be ready to shoot because they come screaming in on you. And they are full alert and they are ready to roll. So get that B3 release, hook up, and then aim hard, aim low because they might want to drop because they come in jacked up. They're coming in looking to protect that fawn from whatever predator it might be or check out that scenario. So that's one thing that if you're looking to try something and you don't want to go to your favorite stand early on over a field edge, have some thicker cover around you, go to that fawn ball. It may bring a doe in, and you can harvest some early season venison. But I'm hoping that here I just showed you the many benefits of this extinguisher grunt tube from Illusions. It is super easy to adjust. That freeze-proof method with that sliding reed, absolutely phenomenal. The sound's phenomenal. It's got the lanyard that comes with it. Tuck it in and out of the way. Do whatever you got to do with it. But this is a phenomenal deal. And this is one that we talked about. Should we run this deal? Because this grunt tube sells out normally on its own. So we're like, yeah, send it. Let's sell out right now. Let's see if we can challenge our TRS Live viewers to purchase this grunt tube way before the season starts. Have it in stock because with the way the world's working right now, this grunt tube, once it sells out, it may not be available anywhere. And the deal that you see right now, or I'm telling you about, $17.99 is the sale price on this grunt tube, is not available on Amazon. It's not available on Walmart. It's only available at therealshot.com. So snatch that deal up. You will be happy. This will be the last grunt tube I hope you purchase. I've had mine 5 years now, at least 5 years, and I absolutely love it. And it sounds as good as it did when I pulled it out of the package just like today. So Whitetail Wednesday, everybody. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully I educated you on some of the great products, the variety of products that therealshot.com carries. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew, ready to roll. Hopefully I saved you a bunch of money and I also educated you. So I'm gonna push out of here. I'm ready to go to the deer woods, get ready to fire up the season. But thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.